So we are honored and to partner with so many incredible organizations that help make our city thrive. I would probably need an entire day to be able to recognize all of our sponsors and partners. So as I read their names, I invite you to hold your applause until the end so we can recognize all of our partners, our chairman circles, and our sponsors for today. So our community builder sponsor for State of the City is San Antonio Regional Hospital. San Antonio Regional Hospital were recognized in 5 care areas by U.S. News as a high-performing hospital in 24-25. Our next community builder sponsor is Citrus College. Yay, woohoo, Citrus College, go Citrus. Named a top 150 community college in the United States Aspen Institute College Excellence Program in 2023. Also recognized as a Best for Vets for the 4th consecutive year in Military Times in 2024. So grateful for our vets who served. Also for our Hope Giver sponsor, Foothill Gold Line has been recognized for Outstanding Rail Project of the Year, yes, from ASCE, a Project Achievement Award from CMAA, for the Gold Line Bridge, and Best Projects Award from ENR California. SoCal Gas, we love SoCal Gas. Thanks again for coming alongside all of us. They received the Net Zero Strategy of the Year Award at the Verdantix 2024 Climate Innovation Awards in Washington, D.C., all the way from D.C. Congratulations. Our early riser, some of our newest partners who you see roaming the room today, they are Dasha Care Foundation. They really care about impacting humans one interaction at a time through music and arts program, and thank you both for coming in today to capture our moments in time so then we can use it on social media. They really do serve as the bridge connecting the dream to the dreamer, all through music and arts. Our Chairman's Circle, our ongoing support of our members wouldn't be possible without all of your support. Claremont Toyota is one of them, and we know they're all here today. Woohoo! Thanks again for our tour with the mayor. Very kind of you to give us the tour to see your location and offer all kinds of things, like maybe donating a car for an auction, maybe. Our team already knows I make things up because I'm a professional fundraiser, and you know, it happens. Also, our Platinum Chairman's Circle sponsor is Golden State Water Company. We really do appreciate your partnership and the support of our impactful work. Our Gold Chairman's Circle members are Doubletree by Claremont. Thank you again, Andrew, for all your support. Claremont Lincoln University, Mazda of Claremont, who also gave us a tour. We showed up, the mayor and I, and just said, hi, can we have a tour? I did call them in advance, just to know. Give them a little heads up, it's always kind. Foothill Transit and Ontario International Airport. So many supporters. Our Silver Chairman Circle members are California Bank and Trust. Josh, thank you so much. Woohoo! Foothill Gold Line, the Claremont Club, and Southern California Edison. Our bronze sponsors for the Chairman's Circle are Discover Claremont. Ron, waving his hand. Yay, he's such a great partner. Thank you, Ron. Knight Claremont, Truemark Homes, and Cornerstone Home Lending. We really appreciate all of your partnership in coming alongside our chambers so we can serve our members. Rounding out our bronze Chairman's Circle is Catherine Barger, our 5th Supervisor, County of Los Angeles. Smart Property Services, Dr. Grubbs, Love Your Salmon, the Rankin Company, and Pay Entry. Please join me now in thanking all of our Chairman's Circle members and our State of the City sponsors. Our work in Claremont is driven by our passion for serving businesses and our community, made even more impactful through the generous support of our elected officials. We are honored to have with us today our Claremont Mayor Calaycay, Vice Chair Stark, Councilmember Medina, Councilmember Reece, and Councilmember Leano. We also have representatives from, as I read, Sam Villanueva, Office of Assemblymember John Harabedian, Brendan Hidalgo, Office of Supervisor Catherine Barger's office, Jim from Claremont Unified School District, Zon Aga from Judy Chu, United States Representative, 27th District, our police chief, welcome, welcome. We're so happy to have you here, Mike. Our city manager, Adam Peary, and Jamie Earl, our assistant city manager. And if I missed any of you, Grace, it is my 6th week. Come up and tell me, and I will introduce you again later, I promise. We are so thankful to all of our leadership here in the city and our partnership with the city. It is unwavering. Since I came here, again, it felt like home. I walked into the city, I walked into the chamber council members, I got to talk with John. Everyone's been very welcoming. Adam, your dedication and vision continue to move this great city forward. And we are grateful not only for the work you do, but for the kindness and commitment you bring to it every day. Thank you for all you do, Adam. We can clap. I know, we have to have a little fun, right? So our volunteers truly make a difference. And as a team of 3, I did share earlier, and they weren't in the room, so Natalia, where you are hiding over there, and Shannon, our team, there are 3 of us. Thank you, team. You also met Angel and Roxy out front, who were also checking people in, so thank you for volunteering your gift of time today to Angel and Roxy waving their hand. We couldn't do what we do without all of you. So thank you to our Chamber Board of Directors, our ambassadors, and our volunteers for your dedication and service to our community. Your commitment not only strengthens our local businesses, but also fosters a thriving Claremont. Through your efforts, you encourage others to shop, dine, and visit Claremont. Who doesn't want to come to Claremont and eat, shop, and buy Birkenstocks, which I wish I had those on today, I'd be a little shorter. Through your efforts, we really encourage everyone to shop here, and it really does help drive economic growth, and especially to our businesses to help them grow and thrive, and hopefully pass them on to the next generation to create generational wealth as we go here in the city. And now it's my pleasure to introduce and welcome to the podium John Nyber, our board chair.
Good afternoon. Well, it's not yet. Good morning. Okay. Stacy would have corrected me. So, thank you all for being here. What a great occasion, bringing the business community together with city officials. In 2012, I took over writing the history column for the Courier after the passing of Judy Wright. And the thing that's really has meant so much to me is learning about the history of this wonderful town, and then be able to share that with the readers of the Courier. And the form of government that was originally in place in Claremont was the town meeting. And so today, what we have again is a town meeting. That's the great thing about Claremont. That's why everybody says, well, why does it take government so long to get something done? Because especially in Claremont, everybody gets a say, everybody has a word. And we go through this process of listening sessions, and we go through this process of really studying things to get it right. Now, do we always get it perfect? No. But I think we get it right. And so the great thing about all that for me has been the community that is built through that. And I think that's the thing that with the chamber that I found too, is that, yes, I mean, we're a business community, but the chamber is so much more than that. The chamber has been involved over the last 117 years in everything that's happened within this city. Originally from trees, to sewers, to sidewalks, to banning chickens within the city limits. It was a big deal at one time. And also, it's interesting because, you know, we all love so many things about Claremont. And one of the things we love about Claremont is our downtown, our village. But I don't know if you're aware of this or not. That was a community effort. It was never called the village originally. It was called the Central Business District. And in 1959, a group of citizens and the chamber got together and started a marketing campaign to call downtown the village. And now if you tried to change that name from Claremont Village, boy, you would be in trouble, right? So what I see when I look out at all of you is I see community. And we don't all always agree, and we all have different opinions. But the great thing is that with the chamber and the city, we come together for the betterment of the community. And we arrive at things that are just wonderful for our community. And now that I've been here 22 years, and you have to know, after 20, you officially get your citizenship. Okay. So if you're not quite there yet, you'll get there. But I think for me, coming together and all the organizations I'm involved with, you know, from our own foundation, the Children's Foundation, to the Chamber, to Claremont Heritage, to the Claremont Courier, it's all people that are trying to better the community. And our partnership with the city has been just that. I've come to know the city staff, our elected council, as friends and neighbors. And I know one thing about all these people. They have the city's best interests at heart. That's just how it is. So again, welcome, thank you, and I'll get off of here and so you can get to the business.
Thank you, John. So to wrap up my portion, I want to say a heartfelt thank you to all of you, our business members, because you're the foundation of our local economy, and your resilience and innovation and leadership are vital to Claremont's success. We are honored as the Chamber to stand alongside each and every one of you, supporting your dreams of business ownership or growing and scaling to make sure that you invest in the next generation of leaders. And again, as I shared earlier, if you want to pass it on to your next generation, we say G2, G3 in family business. Your success is our success, and we're proud to be a part of your journey. John alluded to earlier, took my slide from last night. Our partners really are what it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for our partners. And again, I would need an entire day, because this community is so strong, to be able to share all those partners and our members. We're over 475 strong right now. So I want to say a special thank you again to the Courier. They have been our friends for many, many years, way before I arrived here in Claremont, and they're really looking at how to continue to partner with us and elevate our voices out in the world to be able to reach broader audiences. And I want to say a special thank you to SLJ, who is videotaping today, and to Gourmet Catering. Again, our partnership alongside DoubleTree to be able to put this event on today wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for them. So thank you very much for your support. And to wrap up, as we celebrate the Chamber's 117th anniversary this year, let's take a moment to reflect, not just on milestones and reports or completed projects, but on what truly defines our success, which is our community here. It's all of you. It's our residents, it's our businesses, our schools. We're all here together. And at the Chamber, we're committed to ensuring that everyone, whether they live, work, shop, dine, really dining here is great, or visit here, feels welcome and has access, equal access to what they need to be able to grow, invest in their leadership, their business. That matters to us. We are your advocates. We're your hub. We want to come alongside you and work hand in hand with you to be able to move your businesses forward. So we want to truly honor the Claremont's history while building upon its future, one that is vibrant, inclusive, collaborative, and thriving. Thank you all for being a part of this journey and for shaping this next chapter alongside all of us. I'm now going to pass it over to our mayor, and before I do that, I hear someone has a birthday today, a little birdie told me. So we'd love to say happy birthday to our Vice Mayor Stark. Milestones are always helpful and kind. So at this time, I would love to welcome our mayor back to the podium, and that's our portion of the program for now, and I'll come back up at the end. Thank you so much for coming today.
Well, Vice Mayor Stark, I'm not going to let you off that easy. If you'd please stand and let's all sing happy birthday to Vice Mayor Stark. Ready, begin. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jennifer. Happy birthday to you. And now I am going to officially reconvene the special meeting of the City Council, which is our annual State of the City address. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Chamber of Commerce for organizing this event continually over the years. And I think it's important, before we begin, that I provide a little context, because unfortunately, there's been a little bit of controversy, I think some of you may have seen on social media, about what occurred this year with the change in format. So there are a lot of cities that actually don't do a State of the City. Most of your cities who do have a State of the City, they are generally organized through the local chambers of commerce. They have a government affairs committee, and it's their interest to want to make sure their members are aware of impacts of government on the business community. And so that's where many of the chambers of commerce have these types of events. For many years, we didn't have one here in Claremont, but it just so happens that the first time I was appointed by my colleagues to serve as your mayor back in 2009, then public affairs representative for the gas company, who preceded Leano Shields, who's here today, Bob Cruz, approached me. He was involved in many of the chambers here in San Gabriel Valley, who had, several of them had states of the city, and so he suggested to me we should start a State of the City in your community. And at that point, he approached the chamber, and as the gas company is doing today, he put forward money to sponsor the first ever State of the City address back in 2009. One of the things, too, I previously served as a legislative representative for Bob Margette, and I had the opportunity to go to some of these other chambers that had State of the City addresses. One of them was the city of Chino. It was conducted by the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. And the mayor at the time, Dennis Yates, with many of these State of the City addresses, the mayor presents the State of the City alone without involving the council. Dennis Yates made the choice, even though he's directly elected by the people, to include all of his colleagues in the presentation. And I really like that format, especially in our town where we don't have a directly elected mayor, where mayors serve at the pleasure of the city council. It's a team effort, and I felt that it was important for us to have that same format here. And so that is where this format comes from today, to include the entire city council in the presentation. So next thing I need to mention to you is last year, when Sal was the mayor, we held this event on February the 29th. April 18th an Attorney General opinion came down as a result of a question that was presented in the city of Ventura. They had a State of the City address that their Chamber of Commerce sponsored, and a question came up about it posed by the city attorney in Ventura and the district attorney in Ventura County. And a ruling came down this past April 18th by the Attorney General that State of the City addresses do have to comply with the Brown Act. And so it kind of was out of sight and out of mind because we had already gotten past ours. But of course, when the planning came up for this year's State of the City, our city attorney rightfully came forward and said, we've got to comply. And so that is where this year, beginning this year, this is a special noticed meeting that is open to the public. And I will acknowledge that there were some shortcomings because it was kind of a little bit late in the game, and so we probably could have done a little bit better with the noticing. It wasn't communicated very well, and there were a lot of individuals who on social media were suggesting we were trying to lock people out, that there was a conspiracy relative to this, certainly blaming me because I'm the mayor this year, and so this is viewed as my State of the City. But I can assure folks that nothing could be further from the truth. This is not information that we need to hide, and to assure that everybody has an equal opportunity to view this, that is where today I want to thank the Chamber for working with us to make sure we are videotaping this meeting so that other members of the community have the opportunity to view this at their own leisure in the comfort of their own homes if they so choose. So I just want to make sure we totally dispel any misunderstandings and we have that message conveyed to the community. That being said, one of the highlights of serving on the City Council is having this opportunity to present the State of the City for all of us on the City Council. It's an opportunity for us to showcase the great work of our city staff, who we appreciate. It's an opportunity to showcase the collaborations we have in our community, to highlight projects that have been completed or are soon to be completed or coming forward, and also to talk about programs that are here for the benefit of the community. I want to, again, thank our business community and express appreciation to all of you. You are the lifeblood of our community. Certainly, if you succeed, we succeed. When you flourish, we have the opportunity to be able to continue programs, to enhance our programs, and to assure that we're meeting all the critical community needs of our community. We have a lot of small businesses here in our community that it's a tough time to be in business, especially for small business owners, and especially in Claremont. We acknowledge it can be expensive to operate here, but you made a choice to be here to provide goods and services to our community members and to our visitors, and we thank you for that. And we hope that we can continue to support you and see you thrive here in our community. At this point, I know that some folks arrived late, so I realize that I'm going to repeat introductions here, but I want to introduce, to begin with, well, let me actually back up. Before I introduce our current members of council, I want to acknowledge predecessors. One who I did see here today, I want to acknowledge our former mayor, Karen Rosenthal. Do we have any other former council people that I may have not seen coming in the door? Thank you for being here, Karen, and appreciate your contributions to our city during your time. And at this point, I would like to introduce my colleagues again from the City Council. Once again, happy birthday to Vice Mayor Jennifer Stark. Councilmember Ed Reece. Councilmember Jed Leano. And Councilmember and immediate past Mayor Sal Medina. And our department heads, again, our City Manager, Adam Peary. Assistant City Manager, Jamie Earl. Assistant to the City Manager, Katie Wand. Our City Attorney, who's keeping us honest here today, Alicia Patterson. Our Director of Development, Brad Johnson. Unfortunately, our police chief wasn't able to join us today, and I do want to give a shout out and acknowledge Aaron Fate. He has pretty much given his career to the city of Claremont, and I first met him 19 years ago on a ride-along, just freshly on the city council, and he's rightfully moved up the ranks over the years, and so we're sorry to see him go, but he deserves a well-deserved retirement, and so I do want to just acknowledge our police chief, Aaron Fate. Representing the police department, our soon-to-be police chief, current captain, Mike Sissick. And our other captain, Buzz Ewing. I want to acknowledge our director of community services, Jeremy Swan. And two of our other directors, I just want to acknowledge them. They are not able to be here today. From our Recreation and Human Services Department, Melissa Villaro. And our Director of Finance, Jeremy Starkey. And at this point, we do have several other city staff members who are here. If I can please ask the rest of you to please rise so that we can thank you and acknowledge you for your service to our city. So this has been a good year for our city. All of our business-related revenues are up this year, to include our sales tax, our hotel tax, business permits and licensing. And to speak a little bit more about our budget and our fiscal outlook, I'm going to invite up my colleague, Sal Medina.
Good afternoon, everyone. Now that it is afternoon, right, Stacy? Yes. It is not only a privilege, but it's also a pleasure to speak in front of this group every year, every breakfast, every opportunity we can. So I'm so thankful to be here with you this afternoon. At last year's State of the City event, I stood before you as the newly appointed mayor and introduced 4 pillars of my re-election campaign. They were and continue to be financial responsibility, public safety, economic development, and community engagement. These 4 pillars are also aligned with our City Council's priorities. A year later, I am pleased to share the progress we have made in these vital areas. Specifically, I will touch upon financial responsibility and economic development. Following a community survey, 3 focus groups, the City Council's priority workshop, the city approved a 2024-2026 City Council's priority and objectives last January. This document was used to develop a 2-year city budget for the period of July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2026. On June 11th of 24, the City Council unanimously approved the operating and capital improvements budget for 2024 through 2026. This budget continues to provide the high level of services expected in Claremont and maintain the quality programs and services that contribute to the quality of life for residents, businesses, and visitors throughout our community. The balanced budget not only meets the operational needs of the city, but has also set aside $1.2 million in funding to address long-term pension liabilities. The budget also reflects negotiated contract increases with employees' bargaining units whose contracts were up for renegotiation last year. General fund revenues is projected to be $35.8 million and $36.6 million, respectively, for 2024 through 2025 and 2025 through 2026, with 60% coming from sales and property tax. The balance is generated from other city taxes, fees for services, permits, and reimbursements. The city was also able to increase the emergency reserve fund from 25% to 30% and adopted a reserve policy for formalizing the city's goal of maintaining that 30% reserve balance. In October of 2024, the city made additional payments to pay down the PERS unfunded liability fund. An additional allocation of $800,000 was made towards the equipment and facilities revolving reserves, which can be used for replacement, refurbishment, and maintenance of equipment and city facilities. Lastly, the city continues to maximize the investments of available cash, which resulted in interest earnings of approximately $2.3 million over the last 4 quarters. The 2024 through 2026 capital improvement program budget includes funding in the amount of $12.1 million for a variety of streets and sidewalk maintenance, sewer repairs, storm drain and water infiltration projects, accessibility improvements, cemetery expansions, and traffic signal modification projects, among many other things. In December, the city also allocated the remaining $4.1 million in American Rescue Plan Act funding for business assistance, technology, infrastructure improvements, and community organization partnerships. The remaining funds will be used for seismic retrofitting and improvements of our police station, including a much-needed addition of a women's locker room. All of these funds must and will be spent by December 31st of 2026. To date, the city has distributed 19 business grants in the amount of $285,000 and one $50,000 forgivable job creation loan. The city has also started an innovative to fund business interns for Claremont businesses seeking help with marketing and planning. Community development block grant funding is available on an ongoing basis for businesses looking to expand or improve their businesses as well as create new jobs. Claremont is committed to creating an environment where businesses can grow and succeed. In the coming months, you can expect to see new businesses opening along Auto Center Drive. These businesses include The Habit, Dave's Hot Chicken, which are currently under construction in the former Chase Bank facility off Indian Hill and Auto Center Drive. The Greyhound location has been leased to El Gallo Guiro and is currently preparing tenant improvement plans with the city. Finney's in the Village is currently under construction in the former Press location. New businesses such as Insomnia Cookie, Phil's Coffee, Sweet Ethan's, and Daddy J's are already open in our Village community. Uno Tre Otto will be expanding this year and will feature a unique rooftop dining experience. A new 120-room Residence Inn is under construction and slated to open in January of 2026, if not sooner. And on Foothill Boulevard, Ginkgo's restaurants open in the former Darvish location. All of these improvements could not have been possible without the success of many of you in this room, including city staff, so we thank you for everything that you all do. And at this time, I would like to invite my colleague, Jed Leano, who has other developments in the city.
Thank you very much, Sal. It's a pleasure to be with all of you. Before I get to my prepared remarks, let me just take a quick moment. Can we all give, please, a vibrant and warm hand to all of our service workers serving this exceptional meal? Thank you all very much. Without question, the exciting news about economic development is certainly bright for the future. But in addition to sales tax revenue, a large portion of the city budget is made up by property tax and development fees, and building and construction has remained strong the past few years. Our building division has issued over 1,530 building permits, conducted over 4,500 inspections this past year. And over the last 5 years, the California legislature has passed a number of bills to promote the construction of residential developments to fulfill our demand for housing. The city adopted its 6th cycle housing element this year that identified potential housing sites designated zoning, and outlined a general plan amendment for the encouraging of construction for new residential housing units. One component of this plan is providing a pathway to build accessory dwelling units on existing properties. The city adopted the state's ADU building codes and commissioned an architect to design ADU plans for Claremont homeowners that are readily available for interested parties. These pre-approved plans will help streamline the approval process and will provide incentives to encourage property owners to rent at low and moderate rental rates. The City Council has approved several housing developments this past year, including the Olson project on Foothill Boulevard, currently under construction, scheduled to open in just a few months. The project is called Descanso Walk and features townhomes and live-work lofts with 2 to 4 bedrooms ranging from 1,272 to 2,252 square feet. It includes 52 townhomes and 12 live-work studios. The city also approved La Puerta's specific plan for Forbes Avenue. The project includes 55 homes on the property adjacent to the La Puerta Sports Park. This project design will be taken to the Architectural and Preservation Commission this spring, and construction may start later this year. The city is also working with the Claremont colleges on a handful of new facilities. Construction on the Robert Day Sciences Center is on schedule with an eye towards completing this summer. 142,000 square foot LEED Gold certified project will house classroom and research facilities for natural sciences. And the Student Services Center and CMC East Campus conceptual plan are also in the review process. On March 4th, the developer for the Mountain View Commercial Center held a community open house to gather input from Claremont and Upland residents on the proposed commercial center on Monte Vista. Is the property owned by Holiday Rock. The owners of the property that was formerly Rich's Products on First Street, across from the packing house, have met with staff for a pre-submittal meeting. The owners are considering a mixed-use project with parking, retail space, and residential units. Jamboree's Larkin Place Permanent Supportive Housing Project is under construction, scheduled to open later this year. And the Claremont Gardens 15-unit senior supportive housing project on Baseline Road is fully funded and will start construction this year as well. This project is in partnership with Tri-City Mental Health, which will be the agency providing supportive services. And this week is Green Ribbon Week. We are a proud 60-year member of the Coalition of Pomona, Laverne, and Claremont that are providing mental health and behavioral health services to residents of this and the other 2 cities. It is to promote awareness for mental health services. If you or somebody you know within Claremont or our neighboring cities needs help, please reach out to Tri-City, and let's make sure that we make this week the opportunity to reach out to everybody that we know. If you need help, please ask someone. There is help available. So that is all I have. Thank you very much, and I'd like to invite Mayor Pro Tem Jennifer Stark to contribute to the presentation, and happy birthday, Jennifer. It's not there, it's not hidden. You can start on that.
Well, thank you so much. It is really fun to see everyone today, and thank you for all the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. And thank you to my colleague, Jed. This year, the City Council has continued its commitment to improving the quality of life for all of our residents. The City Council has approved capital improvement projects that improve our roads, our sidewalks for cyclists, our roads and sidewalks for cyclists, pedestrians, drivers, expand access to playgrounds and parks, preserve our historic structures and our urban forest, and offer assistance to our most vulnerable residents. Many of these projects stemmed from public engagement in the planning process and are direct requests to council from the community. The city continued its temporary housing stabilization and relocation program for the 2nd year. The program is designed to assist Claremont renters who are either income qualified or in need of emergency rental assistance. The program is also designed to provide financial assistance to housing providers in Claremont who may wish to make improvements or upgrades to their property, and it's designed to incentivize housing providers to lease their units at or below fair market rent. Since the city opened the program, we have assisted over 200 tenants and distributed approximately $702,000 of the $1.68 million allocated to this program. The City Council will also be considering adding an anti-harassment ordinance to protect tenants and landlords. Staff has organized listening sessions to get feedback from tenants and landlords to assist in crafting language for this possible ordinance. This ordinance was brought to the council by concerned renters and then through the community process expanded to include protections for landlords based on the feedback that the council has received. Another project that was revised based on community feedback was the Lewis Park Playground project. The Better Playgrounds for Claremont community group worked with city staff to design an inclusive playground with a play area for different ages and abilities. The playground is nearing its completion, and we will be planning a reopening event for the community soon. As an outcome of the community input process for the playground, city staff developed a draft park improvement plan for all the city parks. The plan assesses the age and condition of the park facilities, prioritizes park facility improvements, identifies current and future funding sources for proposed park improvements, and develops a robust public engagement process for future park facility improvement projects. Park amenities that were evaluated include playground equipment, restroom buildings, safety and security lighting, pedestrian pathways and parking lots, sports courts, and sports field lighting. The Park Improvement Plan has been reviewed by the Parks, Hillsides, and Utility Committee and will be presented to the Community and Human Services Commission on April 2nd. The city also approved and updated our tree policies and guideline manual after extensive public input. The update was developed after the windstorm of 2022 to include best practices for maintaining our urban forest. And the last program that I would like to highlight came from a small group of very active residents advocating for a more inclusive recreation activities for families with special needs. A little over 2 years ago, the city began meeting with these families to plan events and activities. The program has grown to include special events, special visits with Santa, egg hunts, holiday dances, ice cream socials, and most recently, a St. Patrick's Day dance. The city hired a part-time coordinator this year. Oh, she's not here. The city hired a part-time coordinator this year to assist with the planning of these very special events. And it's truly an honor to be a part of a city that makes room for everybody in our community. To find out more about any of these projects, you can visit our newly designed website, www.claremontca.gov. The new website was launched in December with the new .gov domain. Along with the new website, the city launched a public engagement website for city projects and a personalized news notification system. The website prioritizes the most commonly searched information and has new interactive forms and features. I would like to really encourage everybody to sign up for the city manager's newsletter and to sign up for notifications, because that is the way to stay informed. As we heard from the mayor, there was a sense of not being duly noticed for this meeting, which we will definitely improve on next year. But one way to ensure that you're in the know is to avail yourself of all the ways the city is attempting to communicate with you. And at this point, I would love to invite my colleague, Ed Reece, to the podium.
Well, you know, I'm excited to be here. I have to say thank you to the Chamber for putting on this event. My business started and really kind of grew through this chamber. It's now 30 years old. I started it a long time ago and was able to work with the chamber and be involved in the chamber to help the business grow. I've been a member now almost 25 years, and I want to thank the chamber for everything that they've done to help my business and help the other businesses in our community. I want to thank Jennifer for inviting me up, and I will share one of the council's highest priorities is safety in our community. It is a core function of any city. Safety for a community includes everything from safety of our roads and buildings to public safety, services provided by our first responders. Earlier this year, the city completed the Town Avenue Complete Streets project. Town Avenue was redesigned to include bike lanes, bike and pedestrian enhancements, landscaping, and water retention, and of course, new surfacing. The improvements in the street design are targeted at creating a safer street for all users. The next big Complete Streets project for our engineering division is working on Mountain Avenue. The project will address bike and pedestrian safety concerns around the Jocelyn Center and El Roble and general road improvements. Final design plans will be taken through the Traffic and Transportation Commission and then to City Council. Staff is also working with Southern California Edison on a Rule 20 power line underground project for Arrow Highway. The project will move the power lines underground from Indian Hill to Villanova, and that will take place starting later this year. I'm also pleased to report that the Foothill Gold Line extension from Pomona to Montclair has received its initial funding. On October 31st, yes. On October 31st of last year, LA Metro approved the funding agreement between Metro and the Construction Authority for the allocation for construction of the LA County portion of the Pomona to Montclair segment. In February, I was reelected as the chair of the board of directors for the Construction Authority, and I look forward to overseeing the transition of the completed stations from Glendora to Pomona, by the way, completed on time and on budget. And of course, the procurement process for the Pomona to Montclair section. The process to hire a design builder for the Pomona to Montclair segment is underway today. I also look forward to continuing to work with our police department to address the safety concerns of our community. The City Council takes pride in having one of the best law enforcement departments in Southern California. We continue to support our police department by providing those individuals who protect us with the tools and resources they need to do their jobs professionally and safely. The department has upgraded its communications and dispatch systems, increased training, and completed some upgrades to the police facility. As you heard, more is to be done. The department has continued its special enforcement details to address prostitution and human trafficking, underage tobacco sales, and driving under the influence. Through grant funding, the police department has implemented a new host team. This team provides really continuous outreach to our unhoused residents. The host team members are specially trained to offer services and resources to unhoused individuals. These services can include medical care, shelter, food, transportation, and mental health referral. One very popular police department member is, of course, our canine, Priya. Priya and her handler, Corporal Howell, has trained to provide comfort for individuals experiencing trauma or crisis. This can be especially helpful for victims of crime or following a tragedy. In just a few weeks, we will say goodbye to Chief Aaron Fate as he retires April 1st. I, along with my fellow council members, would like to thank him for his 26 years of service to Claremont. Aaron has been a tremendous leader, an example of a dedicated civil servant. If we can give Aaron a hand. Good news. The city has selected Captain Mike Cizik as our new chief of police, effective April 2nd. Captain Cizik has been with the Claremont Police Department for almost 30 years. He has spent his early years as a motor officer before rising through the ranks in the traffic, detective, and support services bureaus, and has served as captain for the last 4 years. A badge ceremony for Captain Cizik is scheduled for Thursday, April 17th at 5 p.m. here at the Doubletree Hotel. I hope you'll join us for that ceremony. Now, I'd like to return it back to Mayor Calaycay, and thank you all so much.
Well, thank you, Ed. As I was sitting there listening to my colleagues, I had a recollection going back to our second annual State of the City address in 2010 when Linda Elderkin was our mayor. And on that particular date, we did it in July on my birthday. And I just want, for the record, to make the point that I handled your birthday in a very dignified manner, because at the time, Councilmember Sam Pedrosa came up during his presentation and he said, I have an announcement to make. For the first time, we have no council members under the age of 40. So thank you to Sam in his true form. As you all heard, Ed was talking about public safety, and to continue briefly that topic, of course, after the fires that we all witnessed to the west of us in Eaton Canyon and Pacific Palisades, that was extremely emotionally devastating to everyone to witness that. It was painful for us to see our colleagues over there trying to respond to questions. And so in light of what occurred there, the council, working together with our city staff, organized a workshop on March the 1st to focus on wildfires and emergency preparedness. We invited members of our utilities, including Golden State Water, Southern California Edison, the gas company. We also had, of course, our LA County Fire Department there, and it was an opportunity for our citizens to come out and engage on the topic. And citizens asked a lot of great questions about brush management, about tree management, about hardening their homes, and how utilities were prepared to respond to the emergency types of situations. And out of that, coming out of that, I've appointed an ad hoc committee to more specifically focus in on emergency preparedness over the coming months here. It'll be roughly a 6-month-long endeavor. We have several members of the commissions that are serving on this committee. We have key stakeholders in the community to include a representative from the Service Center for Independent Life, from Pilgrim Place to represent our senior communities, from our schools to include Webb School, the Claremont Colleges, the Claremont Unified School District, and other key community members. This committee will be meeting for the first time on April the 14th, Monday, is the plan. And staff is currently working on the materials for that meeting. These will be public meetings. They will be Brown Act meetings, and people will have the opportunity to participate. And if people are not able to participate, similar to today, we will be recording these meetings so that people can view them after the fact, as we did with regards to our workshop. That has also been recorded, and those materials are available on our website. I don't know if we have that web address. I may be doing things out of order. I apologize, Bevan. I'm speaking extemporaneously here. But the website is, we've also made it simpler, as Jennifer alluded to. It's now, we got rid of that ci.claremont. It's now claremontca.gov, very simply put. And then /wildfire is the website where you can go on to view those materials and future materials as this committee progresses. So I want you to be aware of that. Of course, we live here in a high fire hazard zone area, and that requires that we're vigilant about brush management, clearing dead brush, managing all the vegetation in our high fire hazard areas. The LA County the fire department and in some cases their Department of Agriculture send out notices to our residents to let them know of their responsibilities for brush clearance. They usually require that all areas are cleared by May the 1st, and the fire department goes out and does inspections. Those are upcoming. We hope that everyone has received those notices. Coming up on March 24th, CAL FIRE will be releasing updated fire zone maps for the severity zones, and we expect those areas to be increased. And so we want to make sure, again, that our residents are educated and prepared to protect themselves and do what they need to do to defend their properties. And so, again, on that same website, ClaremontCA.gov, there's information on protecting yourselves in emergency situations. So we want to make sure everybody is aware of that. Jennifer also, again, alluded to our updated technology, and we want people to sign up again for notices. You can sign up for notices to be pushed out to you via text, via email, or by phone. And this is an opportunity to be aware of critical incidents that our police department will make you aware of by using those tools. So we encourage you all to make sure that you do that. Make sure I covered everything here. Yes, the last thing, coming up on March the 26th, working together with our San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments, we are working to develop a regional community wildfire protection plan, and residents can participate by filling out a survey or attending community workshops. There is a virtual workshop, again, on March 26th from 5 to 7 p.m., so we encourage folks to participate in that. So with that, to address public comment, we will be moving to questions and answers. I do want to make the point, particularly for those who are viewing this presentation after the fact, that if people do have questions, and I think I'm pulling the rug out from Bevan here, but we have a generic email address that people can use to contact the city. It is contact@claremontca.gov, or you can also contact council members and our city manager directly. The way the email addresses work is it is our first initial, in my case, C. Calaycay, the last name, one word, C. Calaycay, @claremontca.gov, claremontca.gov. And so you can contact any one of us directly if you have questions, since you're not able to be here today after the fact, and we're happy to respond to you outside of this meeting. So I want to make that perfectly clear. So at this point, I will go ahead and we'll open it up for any questions that any of you may have here today. Unfortunately, again, our time is limited, so if we do run out of time, please make use of the emails, and I think some of the council and our city manager will stay after the meeting in addition if there are other questions. So please, I see the first hand up.
Thank you, Corey. Rick here.
Can I welcome you over here?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not, the protocol, I guess we have a podium over here, so we're going to invite members of the public over here because there's a microphone so that people can also hear the question on the video. Thank you.
Thanks, Corey. Quick question in several parts, goes along with your priority number 4. Traffic. When can we expect to see a left turn light at Mills and Baseline? If you've ever tried to turn left from Mills to Baseline when the school's either out or in, not very calming.
So when you say Mills, you're talking about south and northbound?
Mills and Baseline, north and southbound, correct.
Okay. Maybe I could preliminary address it, and we have our city engineer, Mary Tipping, here, so she can fill in if I misstated anything. But normally, if we have requests for those types of improvements, they do require that we go through a warrant process. And perhaps Maria can speak more specifically if she's received requests before, if we have if you'd like to come forward, Maria, because we do have to use the microphone.
And just the follow on to that is, going along with your traffic calming, stop signs. Smith and Gary had a significant motor accident there not too long ago with multiple injuries. Offset intersection, difficult to see because of hedges, everything. Put this on the platform to the city. People running up and down Gary Avenue thinking they're going to the freeway. It's not very calming, again. And also, Yale and Harrison, be a good stop for a stop sign, the 3-way there. as well as College Avenue. If you're trying to walk, my wife and I are walkers, going across by the colleges, et cetera, stop signs would be a good idea. Thank you.
Appreciate those comments, and I'll let...
And no questions about South Village this year, I promise.
Thank you. I'll let Maria get into more depth on it, but again, any of these types of traffic control devices require a warrant study in order to be approved, so there is a process for that, and if they don't meet certain warrants, they're not able to put them in. But I'll let Maria speak to whether she's received the requests and if we are in a process to review those warrants.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. As Mayor Calaycay explained, there is a process to install traffic control devices, whether it's a signal, a stop sign. So the engineering division, we're happy to receive those requests. They can contact staff, and in the website you will find our contact information. If they are concerned with the speeding traffic, we work closely with our police department. We make sure that we share those concerns with them so they can provide selective enforcement. And so we receive a request, and that request requires a traffic and engineering study, oftentimes collecting traffic data and collision data, and then those studies are completed. So we have taken notes of those locations, and if the gentleman who spoke would like to contact us, we're available and happy to further discuss. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. And that's mtipping@claremontca.gov. Do we have any other questions? Oh, yes.
Yep.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Hey, Corey. Yeah, I was just hoping that we might get a little bit more of an update on some of the future development projects that have been kind of lingering around for a while. One in particular is the Village South project. Just wondering if there's an update there. And then also, I was really kind of pleasantly shocked to see, I don't remember who mentioned it in their presentation, discussions resuming again with the owners of the former Riches site. But it was really brief. So I was just wondering, is there a little bit more you can elaborate on that? Because so many in the community, you know, we see that, we walk by that every day, and be curious to know what's going on there too.
Sure. I'm going to invite Brad Johnson for more specific information. I know that there's some soil sampling going on the South Village property there at the moment. So there's that, and I have heard that something is happening at Rich, so I'll allow Brad to speak to that. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Brad Johnson, Community Development Director. To answer your question, Ryan, the ownership, the development team that owns a large portion of the Village South project, they are looking at their financial analysis as far as the uptick in interest rates and the cost of labor and materials. So they've actually asked for a time extension to their entitlement. So I can't give you an exact date when they're going to start, but we did issue a one-year time extension on that. So we hope that they can get their equity partners together and move that forward. As far as other development projects that you asked about, the Riches property, we are very excited that project is coming back. It is a 4-story mixed-use project with subterranean parking and ground floor restaurant and retail uses, and then luxury apartments above that. But obviously with our inclusionary housing ordinance, some of those units do need to be set aside for low and moderate income. But the application is very preliminary at this time, so I don't have dates for you on that either, but it will be moving back through the Architectural Commission and Planning Commission and ultimately City Council.
Do you have any update on the soil sampling?
We don't have any updates on the soil sampling. The State Water Resources Control Board is requiring the King Glass property to meet a schedule of actually cleaning up that property, but they have asked for time extension. So again, I don't have an exact date on that, but work is being done.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions? If we do, if people would please approach the table. Seeing no one. Well, again, I want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. I want to thank again the Chamber for organizing this event in a dedicated fashion year after year. This is an important opportunity to engage the community. As much as it was a different process this year, I think it's a very positive thing to go to this format and have a formal public meeting. And so I'm sure, as Jennifer said, we'll be learning from some of the missteps this year and make sure that we do a better job next year so that this runs very smoothly and everybody feels welcome and can participate. And we will always videotape these meetings to give people the opportunity to see what occurs. No matter what time you schedule a meeting like this, it's always hard. I mean, even when we had our workshop on a Saturday morning, I was hoping we'd have more people there, but unfortunately, people have things with their families. So at least if we can videotape these sorts of informational opportunities, then members of the public can view them on their own time. And again, you can engage us via either phone or email. The City Council line is 909-399-5444, or please do use our emails. First initial of first name and last name, one word, at claremontca.gov. So with that, if there's no further business, I will formally adjourn this special meeting of the Claremont City Council. Thank you all.
So I love how the mayor talked about being in integrity, and we have a lot of opportunities this time. We've learned a lot, and we at the Chamber believe we want to own up to things that we need to add to our own process. So Dr. Greg Schultz, Superintendent President of Citrus College, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your schedule and be here, so let's give him a round of applause. And Miss Laura Bollinger, Board of Trustees and Claremont resident, I believe, thank you for your service and being here today. Yeah, we all do good work, and we're also open to hearing feedback from all of you, our council too. So at the Chamber and our Board of Directors who are here, anytime you have any feedback for us, constructive or positive, we love to hear it so we can better serve our community as a whole. So if your updates before we adjourn today, we do have our guide that's created by our partners, and there's still an opportunity if you want to have an upgraded ad. You can connect with myself or waving their hand over there again, Shannon or Natalia. Our team is always happy to talk to you about your ad if you have any questions about that. And then golf. Now, I'm not a golfer. I told our board. I'm a bowler, so if you want to bowl, anytime. However, you don't have to be a golfer to have a good time. You can come to Topgolf. It's a lot of fun. It's great community building, and there's sponsorship opportunities. Yeah, I'm the one that goes to Bullwinkle's and kicks the ball, but, you know, got to have a little bit of fun. So it's a great opportunity to get together with your colleagues in a different way. It's April 24th from 5 to 8 p.m., and I hope that you can all join us. And with that, you know, we're really, truly honored to be here with all of you and to partner with you. So with that, I want to thank you again and thank our team, Natalia and Shannon, and our volunteer ambassadors that came today and our board. And we look forward to seeing you hopefully at Topgolf. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.